Hi, my name is Khleif, and I'm the host of the Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing podcast. And every week I interview multifamily rock stars, and we talk about how they've built incredible wealth for themselves and their families through multifamily properties. So hit the like and subscribe buttons to get notified every Monday when a new episode comes out. Let's get to it. Welcome to another edition of How to Build Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing. I'm Khleif, and I am thrilled you're here. And I know you're going to enjoy the gentleman we're interviewing today. His name is Rafi Mizrahi, and Rafi's in Israel right now, actually. And he has been very successful acquiring assets in the United States. I think once he closes on his current asset, it'll be over 1,000 doors or very close to it. And so very excited to have you on the show, my friend. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very excited myself to be on your show. It's an honor.
Oh, that's kind of you to say that. Thank you. So why don't you start the way we normally start, just by having you do a much better job of a history and bio on yourself, and just talk a little bit about your journey and take some time explaining. I know you started with IT and talk about your progression. So take it away, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. I've been in real estate for 13 years, but before that, like you said, I was in IT. I thought I will be financial free through being promoted in the company, to higher levels, better salary, etc. And the universe apparently had a different plan for me. And I actually proposed my wife on Friday night, thinking I'm in the right way, right? And on Sunday in Israel, we work on Sundays and through Thursday. And I came on Sunday to work, and they called everybody to the meeting room and said, "Okay, we are sorry, but we are letting everybody go." So it's it's a funny situation.
Same weekend, Friday proposal, Sunday got fired.
Yeah. And the reason I proposed is because, and I waited 4 years to propose, right? Because I wanted to feel that I'm in the right relationship, and that I'm about to hit another promotion. And the universe said, no, it's not that.
Wow.
It's not the plan.
Wow.
And, yeah, and I waited. I was looking for a job for half a year, and no interviews. It's like, and I saw the other guys that I was working with, they were getting jobs, and I said, "What's going on? Why not me?" And somebody gave me the book to read, the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I was said, "Oh my God, that's so crazy." And, I said, okay, I want to do it. I said, I'm burning all my bridges. I'm not looking for a job anymore. Told my parents, who said, you are crazy. Don't do it. Of
course.
You will find a job eventually. You learn so much. You can do it. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. So, and started the journey. I didn't know where, I dreamt of doing big things, but I never imagined that I couldn't picture the life I have today, right? Through real estate. That's how we started.
Well, the obvious question for me is, what about the wife? Did she accept number one, and did she hang with you number two?
Oh, that's a great question. Listen, that's one of the things I'm telling my students, my people that they come and I tell them, bring your wife with you. Or tell your wife, bring your husband, do it together. You got to have a vision. So when I did it, I sat down with my wife, and we said, what do we want in life? What do we want? I told her, listen, let's say we will have kids in 5 years from now, we have a few kids, and now I'm letting go, no job. What now? We have in the best time in the world to start. We could have started before if we knew, but that's the best time to start. And so we lay out the vision as a family, what do you want to achieve? And I told her, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm right for it. I will do whatever it takes. And I have a big dream that we will be able to afford. I was living in a small house when I was a child. No bedroom for myself, living in the entrance of the house. And I remember when I grew up, I said, I want to have for my family whatever they need. I don't want them to, and so they will have also not only financial stability, but friends. I didn't have a lot of friends when I was a child because people are coming to me. I felt I didn't have a self-esteem. So I wanted a better life for my kids, and real estate provided that eventually. And it's me and real estate, but yeah.
So I know that you started buying properties in Israel, and
Yes.
and you were a landlord there, and if you guys think the prices are high here, go to Israel and check out the prices. But then you actually decided to put together a system to buy properties in the United States. And we talked about this before we started recording, is that, listen, if you can do it from your desk and a phone in Israel and Tel Aviv or wherever you live. Are you in Tel Aviv, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah. So in Israel, wherever you live, then there's no excuse for those of you that are local here to not be able to do it, for God's sakes, But so talk about how you were able to do that. How were you able to do that from Israel, thousands of miles away, 6-7 hour time change, depending on where, or 80 hour, even depending on where you're buying assets. Talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
So I thought to myself is, if I need to fly for every property I buy, it's going to be 3, 4, 5,000, right? So if that's the case, so I assume that every deal I need a buffer for 5,000, right? That's another buffer. If I'm not flying, I have another buffer for 5,000, just as a risk management. But I said to myself, every business owner, right? They are not doing every part of the investment by themselves. It means, let's say Donald Trump is not putting a hammer on any building, or right. So I said, it's all about, I need to find out what is the right process and how to find the right team.
Right.
And manage that process. And by doing that, I said, okay, now what I need to do, I don't need to invent the wheel. People from California, they are investing in Cleveland. They are investing in Miami or Jacksonville. So if they can do it, what is the difference?
Right.
So I have 20 hours flight. They have 3, but they need to do, they find a way to do it. So I need to see what they are doing and maybe improve it. So that's what I started to do. And also I learned in real estate that if you buy below market value and have enough buffer, so you will have mistakes, that's for sure. Be ready for that. So I was ready for mistakes, but I had enough buffer to overcome those. So for the first deal I bought, which is a single family home, I bought the property, and then when we started the rehab, the contract said, "Oh, we didn't say that," and now the prices went up. But I bought it in so good price that
it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Where was that first house here domestically?
In Orlando.
No kidding. Good market.
In Poinciana.
Okay, good market. I was just there last night. Actually doing a big presentation to a couple hundred people. That's why I'm a little dragging a little bit this morning. But yeah, that's funny. So you recognize that you could do it in a team framework, right? You recognize that that's, in fact, the multifamily business is absolutely a team sport.
True.
You actually did it in single family as well. You had some boots on the ground here to help you.
So at the beginning, unlike in multifamily, I built a team which weren't our partners. It was, everyone had their role, and they were looking after the job of each other. For example, the inspector, I gave him more responsibilities to oversee the contractor job. So he became like a project manager for the job. That's one of the solutions that I found. Finding the right agent that has experience in renovation. He did flips by themselves, and so he helped. So that's kind of the thing. Not like in multifamily, you more as a team. Everyone has their own
role, own role,
skills, right? But in single family, I didn't have any partner. It's
you
actually
you had to put it together. You had to actually put it together. Now, and those of you that just, I'm sorry to interrupt. I want to interject something here. In multifamily, if you haven't heard me talk about it already, there are quite a few different roles that are pretty set. Like certainly the relationship building with brokers and investors, and just going out there and building those relationships with the external team, the property managers, the brokers, the inspectors, the lender, and all that. So that's one role. Another role is the analytical side of things. That's another role. Another role is the project management for asset management after you own the asset. And there are lots of little. You could be someone that finds the deals. You could be someone that just evaluates the deals. So there's different roles in the multifamily space. So you kind of had to invent them really for the single family. Now you did quite a few single families, yes? I mean, I think
I did over 300 transactions.
300 transactions from Israel. Wow. Yeah. Again, tell me your excuse. Those of you listening, tell me your excuse.
Listen, when American people, when I talk to them and they say, "Oh, I'm offering," and the offer is not accepted, and I'm working out, I say, "What excuses do you have? I'm doing it from here."
Right. No, I love it. You are a great example of, whatever it takes. And you had your phone, you had your computer, and obviously you couldn't come see every property, so you put the systems in place. And any business, guys, is nothing but people and systems. That's it. And so if you get the right people and you put those right systems in place, your success is inevitable. So talk about when you made the change. Well, let me ask it a different way. Can you as you were doing this, did you have any aha moments when you're in the middle of this? You're like, you'd had an epiphany. Can you speak to that? Anything come to mind?
Yeah. So when, I was working on transactions, and, in single family home, to do 300 transactions is creating the transaction over and over. You still need to build a business, but you have the scale. In order to scale, it's harder. So, in multifamily, you can go, let's say you can raise more now. You have a partner who can raise more. So you can go to, on the scale, not just the amount of units, you can go from C class to B class, from B class to A class, etc. In flips, it's riskier because you can go from 200 ARV, now you go to 800, the risk is much higher, right? Because if the market stops, what do? You can rent that, right? So I saw that I always felt like there is a scale. And one day I was running at the beach, and I was looking in all the Tel Aviv buildings. Mm-hmm. And every time I run, I had a dream. One day I will do this. One day I will do big things. It's not big building. It's not the building the business. It's what it what is. So I wanted to create big projects. It was like a secret. Not destiny, something that I want to do, and I wasn't. It was a dream. It was a dream, but it was a secret dream because I wasn't sure that I can do it. I thought.
Oh, so you kept it to yourself. When you mean secret, you didn't share it with anybody. It was just in your own mind. Got it. Okay.
Right? I said I want to do it. I want to do it, and I said so. The natural way I thought it will be to scale up, to make enough money, then to buy 10 units, then to buy 20, then to buy 30, then right.
Go on and so forth.
Yeah, and I saw a seminar a long time ago, and one time that I ran, I remembered that seminar, and I said to myself, I got to do it. I got to do it. It wasn't like a crisis but it's not. I don't know. It's a feeling that I had that now it's the time. I got to do it. I was in the comfort zone too much time.
Comfort zone's a warm place, but nothing grows there, right?
Yes. So, and I didn't feel any desire to renovate another house. There was no challenge, but just to scale it. It wasn't a desire anymore.
Interesting.
So I said,
I'm sorry. You didn't finish your thought. I apologize. What's interesting is it kind of smoldered for you for a while. It wasn't like one day it's like, okay, I'm done. It's over. I'm doing it. But it was there in the back of your mind for a long time to gloss over. You were flipping houses in the 200 range, and you were looking at houses higher, and you recognized the fact that if you had a house that you're flipping for 800 grand and you can't sell it, if the music stops, and the market shifts, which, guys, I'm telling you, we are close. I'm just telling you, if you think otherwise, you're naive. It's coming. With this current administration, I think it's inevitable that we're certainly going to have inflation. That's a given, which is just mind-numbingly stupid to me. But the other thing is they're to pay for all the money they want to throw into the economy. They're gonna mess around with the 1031 exchange, with capital gains and all these things, and that's going to impact real estate. And I'm here to tell you, we're going to have a correction here at some point. Now, again, it's not something to fear, something to be aware of and be ready for, and not be aggressive right now. But your comment about high-priced flipping just is so what's the word I'm looking for? It's reminiscent of thoughts that I had back in the day as well. It's like, what happens if you can't sell? You can't rent it and break even when you have that much of an investment in the property. And guys, so the reason I wanted to hammer that home is, if you are doing that right now, if you're listening and you're doing high-end flips over, really 700,000, 600,000 flips, you are very risky right now. I'm just going to tell you, I would encourage you not to do that. Okay. Because at some point the music is going to stop. And back in 08 and 09, it was like a light switch went off. Okay. It was one day everything's great. The next day everything's terrible. And you couldn't sell, refinance, borrow, nothing. And so don't be a statistic like I was. If you're in these high dollar flips, get out. Don't do that right now. So I just want to stress that, Rafi. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, listen, it's a great advice, and I'm with you on that. That's why I didn't want to do it, and I said I want to go to bigger projects, but with challenges. I like challenges. That's what motivate me, because I'm financial free already, right? So it's not about the financial. I have a big house. Everything I promised that I will have for the kids, they have it. So that's not that. It's the challenge, where I can push myself to have a bigger dream and be able to also, inspire people that they can do it too. Because a guy like me, I wasn't born into real estate, so I wanted to inspire people that if I can do it from Israel, people from Israel, Australia, whatever, in America, they can do it.
Yeah, no, I love it. And let me ask you this. Did you come to the realization that, I mean, I know you'll never stop working, but that flipping is really a job. I mean, it's something, you're only as good as the last deal you did, versus buying assets that continually cash flow, that you don't have to have that churning. Did that ever come into play for you mentally, or just curious?
Yes, because there is an advantage for doing it, fast in a matter of time. But at the same time, you need to put that money again instead of 5 years, or if you can hold, it depends on the strategy, 10 years. So I think you are right. Yeah. And that was the reason I was going into multifamily. I was looking to start doing that, and I did. I don't think you maybe say that, but I did 6 deals, 766 units. Right. We actually sold 2, which for me,
so you went full cycle.
And I didn't. One thing I need to learn more is to celebrate. I haven't celebrated that yet because I'm under contract on another deal. So it's a roadshow. So, I didn't have the time to.
Well, let me address that. Let me address what you just said, because I'm going to tell you, guys, life is a happiness. I tell the story of building this $8 million house on the beach, and within 2 months of building it, I was depressed. It's never about the goals. Happiness doesn't come from the goals. They say the happiest days of a boat owner's life are the day he buys the boat and the day he sells the boat. Well, it's that way with goals. You need them you need to create that burning desire and associate with your goals to drive you and get your butt out of bed and make things happen. But happiness comes from progress and growth. And what you just said, you didn't celebrate. The only way to have that progress and be happy is to celebrate that progress. And so, one of the things I do at my live events is I do this planning process. I teach a planning process. And one of the 5 steps is to pat yourself on the back and say, good job. So that when you have those inevitable setbacks and delays, you're still happy because you're progressing and growing. So I would encourage you to celebrate, my friend, I guess is what I'm saying here, because it's so important.
It's a postponed one, but I will. I celebrate me with myself. I cherish the past that I've, the road that I've been, and the people that I met, and the people that, helped me on the way, and I help them. That's the things that I do every day. I have like a ceremony in the morning that I start. I start with meditation, saying thank you for all the things, prepare myself for the day, and how do I want to be at that day. And one of the things that I write myself is to do it with joy, because there is a lot of stress, with the challenges. So one of the things is to have joy while you do it. So.
Oh, what great advice, my friend. In fact, that's great advice for me looking in the mirror. That's something I needed to hear today, actually, because you're right. It is very stressful. And I love the fact that you have a morning ritual. I had Hal Elrod on my show, the guy that wrote The Miracle Morning, which is a bestseller here in the United States. And it's all about that same thing. You get up, you meditate, you pray, you exercise, maybe you journal a little bit. He calls it scribing. And you start and you make some declarations for the day. It's going to be an amazing day. And I've got students that have done it for years that are super successful as a result of, that's just one piece, obviously, but that's such a huge way to start the day off right. So I'm really glad you brought that up. But let me ask you this. When you made the shift from single family to multifamily, how did you get over because this is a team sport, obviously, multifamily for sure. Talk to me about how you set all that up to be able to do that from Israel. I'm sure you fly out here to see an asset before you close on it, for the due diligence or whatever. But how did you put that team together? Did you already have it from the single family? Did some of those people cross over? Just speak to that a little bit.
So one of the things I did take a mentor. Of course, I had a mentor. It wasn't you, but I know what you have done. You helped so many people. Thank you. I have somebody that was more one-on-one, and he helped me on the way. And I started to do things my own way, because I came with my philosophy how to build team. So the management company, I'm the one who brought the management company and build things on my way, but with the support. And of course, the first deals you done, brokers will not look at you if you are coming without a support team, with track record. So track record is very important.
So did you use your mentor's track record to do that first deal? Is how you did it? Yeah, that's how my students do as well. So all of my coaches have, thousands, hundreds to thousands of units. And so that's such and guys, those of you listening, what he just said is, and I'm sorry, I want to add value. I want to expand on some of these things you say.
It's a great conversation. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. Good.
I enjoy it.
I feel like I'm monopolizing a little bit, but but some of the things you're saying are so important. I want to expand on them a little bit. And so, like he just said, if you talk to a broker and you've never done a deal, it's kind of hard to be taken seriously. So what most people do in this business is they'll align with someone. Like in my Warrior program, we've got dozens of people that, my students now, my Warriors now own over 46,000 units. So there's lots of sponsorship opportunities there but what they'll do is they'll align with someone. So when they go to a broker, they'll say, we own 500 doors or 1,000 doors or whatever. And so they're able to use someone else's resume to have credibility, to be taken seriously. And of course they list me on their website as well. And that adds instant credibility. And so, but that's how just about everybody starts, guys. And so Rafi as well, you found a mentor that had some doors, so you could use that to be taken seriously. And then of course, to have a support, it's also to have a support system. You don't want to do it by yourself. You want to be in an environment that people want to, you can consult with. I always say that when you want to achieve something, find somebody who has done it, who is a mentor, who can guide you as their way. He knows how to help people go this way. That's one. Find somebody who is one step ahead of you, because he remembers the step you are in. And it feels like when you see him doing it in only one step ahead, it feels like it's achievable, because Rod Khleif, he has done so many. Of course, he has experience. Of course, he's doing it. But when you see somebody who is just one step ahead of you, in your mind, it's easier to do it. Yeah. Then you need somebody who is with you on the same level, with the same desire,
and one that is right one step behind you. Because when you help him, you organize how to do it and the system better, and you again have a circle of helping each other.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love the way you just described that. I tell people you've got two hands, one to pull yourself up, one to pull up people underneath you. Sure. And when you're helping someone else, you're growing and learning as well. So it's not just you learning from someone that's a step ahead of you. And that's, again, not to just do a shameless plug for my Warrior program, but that's, we've got, I don't know, close to 1,000 students around the country. And so it's people at every stage of the game. And so you have everything you just described. And of course, you want to be around people that think what you think is hard is easy. Okay. And that's like, for example, I started my mastermind. I told you about that, Rafi. You were even considering it pre-COVID, and I'm sure that you'll join at some point. And I wanted to be around people that I thought, that thought what I thought was hard was easy. And so I started it at my compound here at my house. I had 16 people here, about $1 billion in assets, and it was just incredible. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to formalize this. I just had them come and we just had fun. And so I decided to formalize it. It's called the Multifamily Boardroom. Now there's over 14 billion in assets in there represented by the members. And so, I'm doing what you need to be doing. Those of you listening as well is surrounding myself with people that I've got people that have done 100,000 doors, 20,000 doors, tons of them with 5, 6, 7,000 doors. So again, there's so many little nuances in this business that you may not, that I can't teach from stage, and that you need to, sure. That you'll get if you're around people like that. So you answered my question better than I could have possibly expected. So great answer. And obviously, you come from an IT background, so you're very analytical. You're also a great communicator. So you're a bit of an outlier. Most people are one or the other, and you're both. So that's really a blessing.
It wasn't that before.
No.
People, I think I told you at the beginning, I was introvert. That's how you say
introvert. Introvert. Yeah, because you get energy. You get energy from being alone. Yes.
No, it's not that. I was a shy. Maybe
shy.
I was a shy guy. I was a shy guy. But because if you put me on a room where I'm it's not something that I'm interested in, you won't see me. But because let's put him in a place, I will network with everybody. I will, so that's how I am. But my natural is okay, sit at home, and it's not like I like to network with people. Crazy,
right?
No, it's not me.
I'm actually the same way. Believe it or not, people don't believe that, but it's the truth. I'm the same way. I'm not much of a social butterfly, and I'm not one for small talk. If there's a purpose, I'm there, and I will push myself to have 5 seconds of courage to say, "Hey, I'm Rod. I don't think we've met." And I'll shake your hand, and then we have a conversation. But it, like you said, it has to be something I'm very interested in. So do you have other close members of your team, or is it you using vendors and relationships with brokers and property managers and an external team? Do you also have an internal team, I guess is what I'm asking? Do you have a partner or two?
So I'm doing deals not by myself, but in my vision, so I look at that as a business. So most of the thing I've learned is that, when you partner with people, it's great, but you also need to start looking at this as a business. So I have an analyst, because I don't want to analyst all day, and I want to make more offers. So right now I have an analyst. We underwrite 2 to 3 deals a day, and we make 1 to 2 offers a week. We are very active. We know everything's going on. We try to, I'm flying, meeting brokers, and they see me very active, and they know my track record. So, I'm getting off market. That's why I got this off market deal. I got it, by being in front of the broker so many times. I actually cried in a quotes. I called him and said, "What's going on? I'm making so many offers. When are you going to send me something, in a joke, when are you going to send me something juicy? Come on." Yeah. And 3 hours later, it was calling me and said, "Listen, I have this." I said, "Really? I need to cry? I need to complain to you?" But
I'm sure it was just timing. But that's funny how the universe, God works. So let me ask you this. So you have an analyst. Is it just you and the analyst, or do you have any other?
So I have an analyst, the property manager.
In-house or property managed third party?
No, third party management. But we have a great relationship. They tour all the proproperties for me.
You're in one market. You're in one market then. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Georgia. Yeah, of course. I'm in Georgia.
Okay.
So I have so the process is this. I'm working with a broker, more of the relationship. Once we have, they send me, they know that I will probably give them an answer in less than 24 hours. I'm very quick. We do a quick analysis, and my quick analysis is is actually underwriting the deal. It's not like a few numbers. Underwrite the deal. So, and I give them a feedback without, I tell them, listen, we are at that number. It might be too far off or not. If they say, okay, it's far off, so let's move on. If it's not, then I will talk with the management company. They will go tour, give us a budget, and a budget for the
expense line items and everything.
Financial and also what's the situation, picture, etc. We will plug it and we will make an offer. So that's the process until we, when there is the deal under an LOI signed, then I will fly and participate in the due diligence, of course, and raising funds. I will work with other, partners that can raise funds with me.
Oh, you do? Okay. So you bring in people that help you raise the money as well. And most big operators do that. So what you just said, I want to hammer home. So you won't even go visit the property until you have it under contract. Do you ever find that the brokers don't like that they want do you send someone from your team to go look at it?
So
maybe
the management company.
Perfect. So they actually meet someone there. Brokers like to see you come.
And they know him, and they sometimes talk between them. We need to get Rafi a deal.
Right. Okay, good.
They talk between themselves, right? Because they met so many times.
Right.
So between them, they already say, we gotta find Rafi a deal because he's working hard. So it's about, and I'm an honest guy. I want to think that I'm a good guy. I'm trying to, I will never cut a broker. It's actually a story. It's an interesting story that happens. I submitted an offer. And the broker, I don't know, I got it connected to the owner through a friend of mine. And he told the owner what happened with Rafi's offer. He said he didn't get it. I said, what? I wanted to talk with the owner. I called the owner. We talked. He said, no, I didn't get the offer. You know what? I will send you a PSA. You wanted to sign on a PSA, no LOI. I looked at the PSA, and in the PSA, there was no broker fee.
Right.
He was cutting the broker off. I told him, listen, I'm not going to sign on this. You got to add, we need to decide who is paying for them, but the broker is going to get paid. And the broker got pissed because the owner threw me under the bus, saying that I was cutting him off. And I immediately called the broker, told him, listen, I will never do that. Here, look at the email, because I knew it might happen. Look at the email. He cut you off. He was trying to cut you off.
So, good for you. Thank God you had it documented. Good for you. Yeah. And guys, I will tell you, this is not the first time I've heard a story like this. One of the members of my mastermind, Glenn, tells the story about he had a property under contract, and it had chillers, and these are $100,000 chillers that will cool a whole building. And the deal was under contract, and the seller was not going to do anything with it. And he could have, the broker offered to help pay for it to keep the deal going. And Glenn said, no, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to pay for it. And to save that broker relationship. And so you want to take care of your brokers because they can make you wealthy. And so you absolutely did the right thing there.
And it's also, it's also humanity. It's not about.
Of course, it's the right thing to freaking do. Yeah, there is that. Okay, there is that.
No, why to cut somebody off, right? I don't want.
Right.
Some people will do things for money. I will not do it for money.
And this business is a very small world, and if you treat people badly, it gets out there. You think it's thousands and thousands of people, but I know of a couple people that have been ostracized because they tried to cheat, and I had a past partner that was like that, and so this is a very, very small world, and people find out if you lack integrity, and so no, I love it. I love it. Well, let me ask you this. I want to wind it down a little bit here, but I have a lot of listeners that want to do this business, that have a job, and they know they want to do this on the side. What words of wisdom would you share with an aspiring commercial real estate investor, somebody that knows they deserve more in life, want to build a legacy for themselves and their families like you have? What would you say to them?
That's a good question. First, I think do it with others, because if you don't have time, you need to find somebody who has more time, so you can do it with others. At least to get started, at least to know how to underwrite or to be part of the game. Yeah. Then you can say, okay, this role I can bring as a business owner, I can bring somebody and pay him a payroll. That's something that you can do. You can bring an analyst and pay for that, right? You don't have to take the profits from what you have done in the multifamily and, go on vacation and buy a better car, etc. You don't have to do it. Instead, invest in the business again, right?
Reinvest in your business. Yeah.
You can keep your job, but build your business until it's a business that you run the business, and then you don't need the job.
Oh, that's great advice. Great advice, man. I absolutely great advice. Reinvest in yourself, reinvest in your business. And at some point you'll have a machine that is unstoppable. Yeah, that's great advice. Well, listen, my friend, it was great to see you, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing your wisdom. And let's stay in touch and hopefully talk soon. I appreciate you being here, buddy.
Thank you. It's my honor.
All right. Take care. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Rod, I know a lot of our listeners are wanting to take their multifamily investing business to the next level. Now, I know you've been hard at work helping our Warrior students do just that using our ACT methodology, which is awareness, close, and transform. Can you explain to the listeners how they can get our help?
You bet. Guys, we've been going nonstop for 3 years, building an amazing community of like-minded people. And our coaching students, which we call our warriors, have had extraordinary results. They've purchased thousands and thousands of units. And last year, we did over 1,000 units with our students. And we're looking to grow this group and take it to the next level. We're looking for people who want to follow a proven framework that's really step by step, and then leverage our systems and network to raise equity, to find and close deals, and to build partnerships nationwide. Now, our warrior community is finding success in any market cycle. So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become more of our incredible network and take advantage of the incredible opportunities that are coming very soon, apply to work with us at mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 72345, and we'll set up a call so you can check us out and we can check you out. That's mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 72345.